Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, President of the American Sport Fishing Association, Glenn Hughes.
Morning. Welcome and congratulations to all of you for making the smart choice to come to ICAST 2025. This is your show, and you belong right here, meeting with your customers and colleagues and vendors face to face. As we begin this year's show, I want to take a moment to recognize someone who has used the gift of fishing to teach leadership and life skills to countless young people in the role with the Steve and Marjorie Harvey Foundation. Well, this guy needs no introduction. It's my absolute honor to invite to the stage Mr. Steve Harvey and present him with the inaugural ASA Impact Award. This is so gratuitous.
You want to take a selfie? Okay, here we go. All right. Never had a really important person take a selfie with me before, so that's the first. Hey, listen, I didn't know they were going to give me an award when I came here. I wanted to come to ICAST. This is my first time, but I appreciate it. I'm always humble when I'm recognized, because I just ain't seen my life getting here. If it wasn't for that God I serve, I never would have been nothing. I just flat out wouldn't have been nothing. And so I appreciate all the grace and favor that God then showed me. I get this award, man. I didn't know so many people knew that I was involved in fishing. So many people have stopped me and told me that they knew about my program, so I appreciate that. I was sitting in my chair, and Lady Mary Beth told me I was going to come up in here and speak, and would I be comfortable speaking? Well, lady, I'll tell you what, if I ain't comfortable speaking, my wife going to have to stop shopping right now. Then Jay Stryker told me I was coming. He said, man, it's the biggest crowd I've ever seen. If this was all the crowd I was in front of, it would have ended my career a long time ago. I don't really know y'all's humor line, so let me get out of it right now, because y'all struggling, and so am I, and I don't like bombing. So let me just say this. My foundation is about changing kids' lives, and that's what it's about. Fishing is a big part of that. I've worked with gangbangers and underprivileged kids and straight A students, but none of them have father figures in their life. Nobody took them out on the lake, taught them how to fish, taught them the piece of fishing. I've seen more gangbangers, more gangsters become full-blown sissies when it come to touching a damn fish. And that's how I break them down. I take these hardened guys and they get a little, and I find out who they really are. But fishing has been a lot. I got a little video that they want me to show, kind of explains my program in a nutshell. I'm sort of bouncing all over the place because I ain't got no speech, because I don't like looking at paper. I just like talking from my heart. I ain't really paper. Plus, I don't read that good. Know how y'all don't know that, but I probably got a third grade reading level, but I make enough money where don't nobody know it, so. That's a good one. I always like to get a little one. So let me show y'all this video right quick. If I wasn't who I was today, I wanted to be a bass pro fisherman.
It is truly a blessing, for sure. I love it.
Man,
I love it.
You gonna show me a couple things.
Yes. Right now, we fishing at the lake, and we just trying to catch some fish right now. Hopefully, we catch one. Well, we gonna catch one soon.
Let them run.
That's the third one.
The second.
We don't want to break it off. That's what it looks like.
Right there, right there. Go ahead and lift him up. Keep reeling. Keep reeling.
I got my first fish.
Just like a baby. Just like you want a baby.
Where's that big at?
I just caught it.
2.88.
Yeah. Keep reeling, keep reeling, keep reeling. Oh, you got it. Look at you.
Thank you very much. That's it. My wife does the girls program, and then right after that, I do the boys program. I started this program 16 years ago. I had a ranch in Dallas. I ended up selling it when I moved to Atlanta, Georgia. And then I was fortunate enough, I used to rent out the Chick-fil-A ranch down in Rock, Georgia. And from Dan Cathy, who's the owner of it, and I finally convinced him to try to sell me 300-400 acres. They wouldn't do it. And then but finally they broke down and sold me the whole thing. So I bought 1,600 acres to change kids' lives. And I'd like to thank Strike King and Luz for helping me out so far, Zebco, people like that, Bass Pro Shops. But one last thing. Since I've been down here, I've learned something. I've watched something. I have an idea to help you all grow your business. You got to get a bigger return on your investment. It's about money. My daddy told me something when I was young. He said, best thing you can do for poor people is not be one of them. And that has kind of pushed me on. So you got to make money, man. If you're going to help people, you got to make money. And I have a way to help you grow this business, to diversify it. You're leaving $1 trillion spending power in a diversified core of people out there that don't come to this business. We got to show them this business. You got to grow this business from conservation to hatcheries to fishing to all of it to lure making. All of it's a business. You got to get this in these kids' heads, man. And that's what my program can do. And if you would allow me, I'm going to meet with some of your top people, and maybe we can collaborate and get a couple things done. It won't cost you but a few $1 million. That's all it will. And then I love talking about that. So anyway, that's what I'm here for, man. Thank y'all from the bottom of my heart, and I appreciate the award, y'all. Thank you very much.
Hey, Steve, that was awesome. Appreciate that. Wasn't that a nice surprise? One of my favorite Instagrams is when Steve's bringing in the fish. I'm not sure if it was Broderick, his son, or somebody else falling down trying to get that fish out of the water. It wasn't Broderick. All right. Wow, that was great. And thank you, Steve, again, for the work that you do and for coming to ICAST this week. It's such a pleasure to have you. I'd also like you to meet the other faces at ASA that are new this year. Kendra Allman is our new Vice President of Member Services and Business Development. With more than 25 years of association management experience, Kendra is the perfect complement to our awesome ASA team. Also, because of the increasing need to promote the many issues affecting your businesses regionally, we've brought on Garrett Briggs as Public Affairs Assistant. Garrett's doing a terrific job when he works at the grassroots level and gathering intel and sharing information with our message. I would like to also take a moment to acknowledge an incredible accomplishment. 100 years ago, Andrew McGill set out to create a better fly. This led to the creation of Eagle Claw, one of the greatest fishing brands of all time. To Drew McGill, Mike Jackson, and the Eagle Claw team, congratulations on an incredible milestone. For 100 years, the McGill family has built this amazing company with an unwavering commitment to their employees, to quality products, and to U.S. manufacturing. Thank you for your leadership, your partnership with ASA, and inspiring the sport fishing community. Let's give a big round of applause to the Eagle Claw team. Okay, time to talk politics. Over the course of any given year, you'll see countless groups and organizations make a trip to Washington, D.C. and say, hey, look at us, we're in Washington. And that's great. And that's, we're glad to have you. However, if you didn't know, ASA is in Washington every day. We are meeting with the House and Senate, the Department of Interior, NOAA, and sometimes we're even meeting with them on the water, building relationships and talking about fish. Simultaneously, our amazing team of policy directors and lobbyists are actively engaging with their representatives, as well as regional councils and commissions all year long. We don't just monitor and communicate about legislation, we're often writing it, presenting it, influencing it, and debating it for the sake of conservation, access to fish, and for all of you. Besides the good legislation, we also have to stop bad bills from happening, like those trying to ban soft plastics, or lead tackle, or trying to close fisheries or sell off public land. A great example of this is while we're working with the NMMA, the Center for Sport Fishing Policy, and many of you, we stopped NOAA's ill-conceived plan to effectively close the Atlantic to any boats over 35 feet for half the year, at least for now. We also stopped the efforts to shut down bottom fishing of 55 species in Northeast Florida from December through February. December-uary, that's a new word. And recently, we helped stop the Senate from selling off 3 million acres of the land in the One Big Beautiful Bill. Are we where we want to be on red snapper? Hell no. However, we are working with the states and our partners, along with NOAA, to fix the problem. Joining us this week at the show is the head of NOAA Fisheries, Genio Pinheiro Soler, who was actually instrumental in calling off the 3-month closure and sees the importance of recreational fishing. In addition to fisheries, we care about the trade and the commerce, and especially anything to do with excise taxes. One of the top problems we are trying to fix is something we call excise tax slippage, where foreign goods are sold directly to U.S. consumers through online marketplaces and no excise tax is collected. It's not fair to you, of anybody who pays those excise taxes, and limits the funding that goes back to support fisheries conservation. The Sporting Goods Excise Tax Modernization Act that Mike Leonard helped write will level the playing field and support fisheries management. Most important for the long game is the reauthorization of the Sportfish Restoration and Boating Trust Fund. 2025 marks its 75th anniversary, and we know the funds collected have been put to good use over those years. The new version is called the Sportfish Restoration, Recreational Boating Safety, and Wildlife Restoration Act of 2025. Easy. It reauthorized the Sportfish Restoration Act, which is considered one of the most successful user-pay public benefit programs in the world. Since its inception, your excise taxes, along with the motorboat fuel tax, have provided the fund with over $12 billion. The result is the development and maintenance of more than 9,000 public boating and fishing access locations. It supports 320 fish hatcheries, and it produces more than 200 different species of fish, which totals almost 1 billion fish annually. That's a lot. Okay, moving from excise taxes to trade. Excuse me for a moment. Many of you have basically earned a graduate degree in tariffs over the last 6 months. And many here just may not realize how dependent our industry has become on China for fishing equipment. As a matter of fact, if we look at the true figures from 2024, you'll see that 91% of all fishing rods imported to the U.S. come from China. Also 87% of the reels, 96% of the hooks, 93% of 96% of the nets, and 63% of the hooks that are imported from China. I think you get the picture. I know that all manufacturers have been working for years on alternative solutions. The time committed, the lack of infrastructure here and in other countries, and the changing political landscape has left most of us frustrated. When I asked many of the leaders in this room how they felt about tariffs, I got back these responses. To our board's credit and their foresight, last fall they asked us to get more support for trade and commerce issues. And that led to the retaining the services of international trade expert Ron Serini and his firm, Serini Samet and Associates. Ron, Megan Costello, and the rest of his team have done an outstanding job dissecting the tariffs and educating our membership. We have created a section dedicated to tariffs on our website, presented many webinars and seminars, shared countless emails, and held one-on-one sessions with ASA members to help you make better decisions for your future. You can find much of this intel at asafishing.org/trade and commerce. Based on the President's press conferences, news releases, comments shared on Truth Social, Serini's team has updated our tariff spreadsheet well over 30 times since January 20th. Liberation Day caused more angst for most of our community. Even when we thought we had a 90-day reprieve and the rates were going to settle in, it was only 3 weeks later that steel and aluminum tariffs jumped again from 25 to 50%, testing the resolve of anyone involved with trying to forecast the rest of this year. I wish I could tell you tariffs were going to go away or settle down to 10%. I can't. But every day, we are educating Congress and the administration on the impacts the tariffs are having on our industry and the relief we need to survive this year and into the future. Check out our many resources at asafishing.org and be sure to sign up for our Keep America Fishing emails to keep you informed and engaged. Okay, enough about tariffs. Let's talk some numbers. Thanks again to our friends at Circana, the leading POS data collection company, for providing us with the sales data through May of this year. Remember that Circana has real POS numbers from major retailers like Walmart, Bass Pro, Amazon, Dick's, and Scheels, making up just over 50% of the business in total retail sales across the country. If we look at the last 12 months through May compared to the previous 12 months, we see that revenues are actually up slightly, led by fishing accessories and then rods and reels. However, fishing apparel has dropped significantly. If we focus on the year-to-date sales, January through May of 25, compared to 24, we see that fishing equipment remains up, while marine electronics has dipped and fishing apparel dropped more than 10%. How about actual sales sold year over year and year to date? You see that in columns 3 and 4, only rods and reels showed an increase in volume, while everything else actually declined. Of course, the average selling price increased for everything, except for clothing. Want more numbers? All right, let's talk about participation for a minute. Believe it or not, fishing participation actually showed slight growth in 2024. That's right, the latest survey from RBFF shows that the number of anglers aged 6 and above increased from 57.7 million to 57.9 million anglers. The percentage of Americans who went fishing has increased from just 16% a decade ago to more than 19% just last year, and that's pretty incredible. Yet the crazy thing is, as while we've added 16.9 million new anglers and reactivated anglers last year, we actually lost 16.6 million. These are people that fished in 23 and didn't fish in 24. That's churn, and that is scary. Looking at the list of reasons why people chose not to fish tells me that they just didn't go with the right people who know what they're doing and how to have a good time. That means everybody in this room and all your friends and family. Just like Steve said, show the youth and your friends a good time on the water. Take them fishing, and together we can slow the churn. I do need to let you know that the Department of Interior denied the RBFF their earned funding this year, the same funding that they've been awarded for the past 27 years. And they should have been able to continue it for at least the next 3 to promote fishing and boating. DOJ cut them off. That means all the great programs and fantastic marketing that has excited new anglers and supported the states and industry for decades came to a screeching halt on March 31st. We're working towards solutions, but we won't see any real promotion nationally for fishing for the rest of 2025. In spite of all the uncertainty, there is still plenty to be positive about. The stock market again reaches record highs. Unemployment remains flat. Fishing participation is still growing. and many of you have told me that you are still doing very well this year. Our industry has overcome so much the last few decades, and we will overcome this year as well. The future of fishing is more than just who wins awards up here tonight or the sales in the next quarter. It's about the sport fishing community working together to ensure fair trade, abundant fisheries, and access to those fish so that we can thrive for another 100 years. We will keep you, we're going to continue to work smart and keep you engaged and informed. Please let us know how we can help. Thank you very much.